Hello, hello. Welcome back to What's Your Favorite Scary Story?
Oh, hi. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry.
Are you?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, good. That's all that matters. So, how's it going? Are you ready for scary stuff?
I am. I'm a little under the weather right now, but we're good.
Yeah, I told her I'm going to make her forget all about it because I'm going to scare the pants off of her
All right,
today.
I think I'm ready.
It's a pretty creepy one.
Yeah.
Um,
But
yeah.
before we get into it, I do want to kind of circle back
Uh-huh.
to last week's episode.
Okay.
Because just a quick recap, we talked about I mentioned my experience with a ghostly hand.
A ghostly hand.
A ghostly hand.
Yes, I remember.
At my tia's house. My cousin, Marlene, who also lived at that house, was telling me that they had crazy experiences in that house. That it was like super, super haunted. And, that my cousin Oshi would wake up with scratches on her face.
On her face?
Yeah, on her face. And, that they had found this, I don't know if it was like a plaque of a dead man's plaque on the ground, or a gravestone in the backyard. I'm not sure exactly where, but she mentioned that they found something like that, and that they just decided to throw it away.
Not the best move.
I guess not. And they threw it out because it was scary for them. So
I get it. I think I would be more scared of what would happen to me.
Right. So
after doing that.
She told me that it would reappear in the same exact spot again.
What?
They would throw it out and it would come back and reappear on the same spot. As if it...
No, it didn't.
And
I refuse.
And so she also told me that the final thing that made them move literally from one day to the next was that she had been woken up in the middle of the night, and there was a ghostly figure of a man laying next to her in bed. And I don't know.
Again. No. What?
I don't know. But that house was haunted. I
clearly
guaranteed haunted. Scariest house on
the block. It was probably the same ghost that touched your face that was laying in bed next to her.
That's terrifying.
It's probably the man from the gravestone that they got rid of.
Yeah, it was a scary house.
This is why you don't mess with gravestones no matter what. Leave them there, respect them, tell them to have some boundaries, but don't just throw it away.
Yeah, no, that house was creepy. I do remember right in the middle of the house there was this weird window wall, and I feel like I remember there being stairs to go up, and I don't know, I'm probably making this up.
Are we back at the Winchester house?
It was a weird house that. The layout of that house was weird. And anyway, I'm probably just adding more salsa to the story, but
per usual.
But yeah, I just wanted to tell everyone that, my cousin reached out.
Give everyone some nightmares tonight.
Yeah. She reached out, confirmed my story, first of all, and was like, yeah, that house was hella haunted. And another thing is that she dreamt about the house before they even built it. Because,
what the heck is going on?
Yeah, so she said that when she saw the house, because my whole family lives on that street, basically. And so she said that when she finally saw the house after it was built, she was like, what the fuck?
That's terrifying.
Yeah. And then they moved into that house. So
first mistake.
It was just she was like, I knew. I keep on dragging the story, but when I posted the little snippet to kind of do a preview on my Instagram story, and I didn't mention what house, what cousin it was, and she was like, I immediately knew that it was my house you were talking about. And she's like, I don't know what it is about this house, but it's always followed me. Everything from that's followed me. And she's like, I heard the snippet of it, and I knew immediately it was my house you were talking about.
Well, I'm glad she is not there anymore, but does anybody still live there?
Not my family,
No?
no.
Okay,
I'm sure
good.
someone probably lives there, but I don't know.
Well,
I
I
haven't
hope
been
they're
back.
doing okay.
I haven't been back in a couple of years, so... But, hopefully... hopefully we go together.
Yep, I gotta go to Mexico one of these days with you
I'll
guys.
show you that house. It's right up the street.
We'll
from
bring
my
the
grandma's
ghost
house.
equipment.
Yeah. All right.
Jesus. Well, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Starting off strong with this is probably one of the creepier ones, I would say, in my opinion. But okay, let's just get into it. So this week's topic was suggested by Kayleen from Oregon. Thank you so much for the suggestion, Kayleen. I'm super excited to do this one. I was really excited to start researching it. And let me tell you, I found a lot of stuff. So today is going to be a good episode. All right. I'm ready for it.
Cool.
Okay, so this week's episode is on skinwalkers.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
okay.
I don't know a ton about skinwalkers. I've seen stuff here and there on them, and I learned a lot of stuff that I didn't know about them. So the definition of a skinwalker is, according to Native American folklore, it is a person with the supernatural ability to turn into any animal that they desire. Which that alone, I already didn't know. I didn't realize it, was a legitimate person.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right? Yeah, it's, across the internet, that's what it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
I always thought it was just one of those, a mystical creature.
Like a cryptid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so it's a person.
It's a person.
That has the ability to...
Yeah, I'll get more into it. But yeah, it's an actual person, and I'm pretty sure, at least almost all of the time, they're a normal person, when they're born. And it's, something that happens later kind of thing. I wish you guys could see her face.
It's because Okay, let's just go. We'll get into it later. I want to hear your...
Okay. Well, so, in the Native American culture, a skinwalker is, I saw a few different kind of words for it, but it's Yi Naldlushi, which translates to, with it, he goes on all fours. Oh. So that makes sense. So basically, there's some different things on it. I found stuff that was they've evolved from living people who were respected healers or spiritual guides who then later chose to use their powers for evil. So it's they were a person who already had powers and then they turned evil. But yeah, they literally walk among the tribe during the day, and then at night is when they transition into a creature. The lore is prominent in the American Southwest, mostly. The Navajo, Hopi, Utes, and other tribes do all have their own versions of skinwalkers, but they're all essentially the same thing. I do have a quote here from Dan Benishek. He's an anthropologist from the University of Nevada. He says, "Skinwalkers are purely evil in intent. I'm not an expert on it, but the general view is that skinwalkers do all sorts of terrible things. They make people sick. They commit murders." What?
It's because Ori keeps on snoring.
That's okay. I don't care about the O snores.
Okay.
Let's see. For some tribes, the tale is more than just a legend. It is a belief, particularly in the Navajo Nation. And then another anthropologist, David Zimmerman of the Navajo Nation Historic Preservation Department, says that skinwalkers are folks that possess knowledge of medicine, both practical and spiritual, and they are both wrapped together in ways that are nearly impossible to untangle.
Kind of it reminds me of a witch doctor from New Orleans or something,
Yeah, I'm getting to that.
Oh.
Yeah, actually.
I'm always too,
you're
I'm,
too ahead of the
I'm always
game.
too
You know too much.
Jeez.
So allegedly, it is pretty difficult to get Native Americans to discuss skinwalkers, especially the Navajos. No one wants to come across them, and they don't like to speak openly about them, especially with strangers, because speaking about them might invite the attention of the evil witches. So skinwalkers, as I said before, aren't like your normal scary figure like the boogeyman or werewolves or vampires. They don't just lose control and attack everything in their path. They do kill, but they actually have motivations behind their murders, which tend to be power and revenge. So other, it's interesting because I've heard like kind of different sides to the skinwalkers.
Okay.
So like other than in the actual like origin legends, like from where they came from kind of thing.
Right.
Like nowadays, the stories you'll hear about skinwalkers actually rarely include death or attacks. It's more like trickster vibes.
Right.
Many stories include skinwalkers in their animal form running next to a vehicle and matching the speed
Babe,
of the car.
no.
What?
This is a really tough thing to hear because
I think you have a story for later, huh?
I do have a story, and it's making my skin hot talking about this because it was so scary,
Babe.
and like I'm like tearing up, like
Oh
I'm
my
not even
god. And your tummy hurts
And my
too.
tummy
What am I
hurts.
doing? And you have work in the morning?
It's fine. Yeah, we're recording at like midnight right now. But
Well, I don't think we're sleeping again tonight.
yeah, I had trouble sleeping last night too.
I'm sorry.
No, but I believe in skinwalkers. I know like a little bit about them. It's just you. Let's just get on. Let's just
Okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah, we'll get there. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna let it all out, and then we're gonna put some Family Guy on and eat our crumble cookies.
or watch some SpongeBob.
SpongeBob
Yeah.
is good too. Whatever does the trick.
The Goosebumps are not stopping.
Where we will not. I was gonna say we're not watching Goosebumps.
No, I mean like the Goosebumps aren't stopping.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
Sorry.
it's okay. I got it. Let's go. Let's
Okay.
go on with it.
Like okay, so they're running next to the car, matching its speed. But after a while, they tend to like seem to get bored and disappear into the wilderness. They sometimes even seem playful, like a dog chasing a car or something like that. And they are sometimes seen and heard outside homes, but rarely enter. They have been reported by both native and non-native people. Okay, here's a little bit about like the history of skinwalkers. We're gonna like go into the details on that. So apparently they must be initiated by a secret society, and the initiation involves killing a close family member, often a sibling. And completing this task is what gives them their powers. So it's like a choice that they make to become a skinwalker.
That's pretty harsh, actually.
I know. Like, ugh. The animals that they turn into are often coyotes, wolves, foxes, cougars, dogs, and bears. They then wear the skin of the animal that they turn into, hence the term skinwalker. Because of this, the Navajos do consider it taboo to wear the pelt of any predatory animal. They sometimes will also wear animal skulls or antlers on their head, giving them more power. And so this is like I found this really interesting.
They do what? They wear
Like
horns on their head?
animal skulls or antlers on their head, and that gives them more power.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then, so apparently they get to like choose what animal they want to be like that night specifically, like based on what they want to do. Like, so if they're trying to attack someone, like, or they'll turn into a bear, but say they want to like run away really fast or jump, then they can turn into a wolf, and they can change like mid action. So they can go and attack someone as a bear, and then when like right from being a bear, and they want to run away, they can turn into a wolf and then turn back into a human. Like, they have full, like, control. Yeah. So that's interesting. If a person locks eyes with a skinwalker, the skinwalker can possess their body and can make them do and say anything. And once a skinwalker has shape shifted, which is kind of ironic, but the way to tell if they are a skinwalker or just an animal is the eyes. Apparently, they will still have the eyes of a human.
While they're in their animal form?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Supposedly, the evil society of witches gathers in dark caves or secluded places. So, like, essentially, like, in this culture, they are witches, and that's just the form that they take. They meet in these places to initiate new members, plot their activities, harm people from a distance with black magic, and perform dark ceremonial rites. And these ceremonies that they're performing are actually similar to just normal tribal affairs like dancing, feasts, rituals, and sand paintings, but the ones that they're doing were corrupted because of the dark connotations, obviously. The members of the society are said to engage in... Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give a trigger warning. They were said to engage in necrophilia with female corpses and commit cannibalism, incest, and grave robberies.
Oh my god.
It's messed up. During these gatherings, they shapeshift into their animal form or go about naked, wearing only beaded jewelry and ceremonial paint. The leader is said to usually be an old man who is very powerful and has been a skinwalker for a very long time. Okay, so here are some of the powers that skinwalkers are said to have. They can read people's minds and control their thoughts and behaviors. They can cause illnesses, destroy property, and of course, cause death. Ways to know that a skinwalker is near is hearing sounds around your home, such as knocking on windows, banging on walls, and scraping noises on the roof. Sometimes they can even be seen peering in windows, and a lot of times they appear in front of vehicles hoping to cause an accident.
Damn.
Seems they like to mess with people in their cars or at their homes, which is terrifying because you're not even safe at home.
Yeah, no, that's why I like to keep the curtains closed.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's just scary in general.
And then if you happen to catch their eye, then you're possessed, apparently.
This is really scary. I'm genuinely scared.
I haven't even told you any stories yet, babe. You're not ready. It's really, really bad. I don't even want to tell you now. You're going to be scared.
I've never been this genuinely scared of a scary story.
It's because I'm so
I have, right, as a kid. Yeah, everyone is.
But it's
this is
I feel like I'm so detached from it because I did all this research and it's just in my brain, and I'm reading it to you, but you're absorbing it and you're picturing all of it and yeah. I hope it's daytime to whoever is listening to this because
it's probably just another story for other people.
Yeah, you think so?
I think I just have a personal connection to
which this, I'm sure people people out there do too.
I hope so. I hope I'm not alone in this because I'm telling you I'm very scared right now.
You're gonna be okay, I promise. Okay. Supposedly they can control other creatures of the night like wolves and owls. And they can call spirits of the dead and reanimate the corpses to attack their enemies.
Oh, what the heck?
I know. I didn't know any of this. It's insane. They are extremely fast, faster than a car. They are agile, impossible to catch, and leave tracks larger than any animal. They kill out of greed, anger, envy, spite, or revenge, and they rob graves for personal wealth and collect much-needed ingredients for black magic use. So skinwalkers, as well as other witches, have been blamed for many unexplained struggles and tragedies like sickness, drought, poor crops, windstorms, reversal of fortune, and death of both animals and humans.
Damn.
Okay, so now on to the Navajo Witch Purge of 1878.
Ay.
So after multiple wars with the U.S. Army, the Navajo were expelled from their land and forced to march to Fort Sumner in New Mexico, which became to be known as the Long Walk of the Navajo of 1864. When they arrived, people suffered from bad water, failed crops, illness, and death. After 4 years, the government admitted they made a mistake, shocking, and the Navajo were allowed to return to their homeland. It is said many members of the tribe turned to shape-shifting to escape the terrible conditions, which, like, why is that the solution?
Right.
Like, I don't understand. And the rest of the tribe was convinced that their gods had deserted them. So after they returned to their homeland, their conditions did improve, but the skinwalkers were still among them. This is when the accusations of witchcraft and the hunting of skinwalkers began. At one point, someone discovered a collection of witch artifacts wrapped in a copy of the Treaty of 1868. This sparked the Navajo Witch Purge, where 40 suspected Navajo witches were killed to restore harmony and balance to the tribe.
Damn.
So it's like, if they were skinwalkers, like, I get it, but, like, what if there was, like, some innocent people in there?
Right, like the witch trials. Like
Exactly. Yeah, that's like what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
So the skinwalkers are Navajo or like native.
No, I mean, I don't think I saw, like, exactly where and when they originated, but it just seems most prevalent in Navajo, but it seems like many tribes, if not all of them, believe in them.
Right. Yeah, it is a native like folklore kind of thing for sure.
Yeah. So like I had mentioned before, the most recent tales of skinwalkers don't include death or injury, and they're more like tricksters in these stories. Like, again, they will run alongside cars, sometimes turning back into a person and banging on the hood, which, could you imagine seeing that while you're driving down the road of, like, dark mountains in Arizona? Like, yeah. Oh, God.
Or just, like, the vastness of
the emptiness.
Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. No.
Yeah. They will turn into a fiery ball, leaving streaks of color behind.
Does it say what kind of color?
No. Sometimes they're just seen as an angry-looking humanoid figure looking down from cliffs and mountains.
Oh my God.
Oh, babe. My God. Oh, I'm scared now because I know your story's gonna be really messed up.
Ay.
But you're safe. You're here.
I know.
You're okay.
Yes, let's just get on.
Okay.
With it.
All right, so here are just a couple personal stories I found about people's encounters with skinwalkers. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
This is probably the worst one. I'm glad we're getting it out of the way. A man was working on repairs on an old ranch home and started to hear laughing from the sheep pen. He knew he was alone, so he went to go investigate. He found all of the sheep huddled in the corner, except for one ram by itself. I'm, like, about to cry. That one ram was standing upright and laughing in a very human manner. Once the man locked eyes with the ram, he noticed that the eyes were much more like human eyes than animal eyes. The ram then just casually walked away on 4 legs.
What the fuck?
A ram laughing, standing up.
That's like demonic. Like, rams are.
Yeah, rams are like demonic symbols. Yeah, I've got the goosebumps now. I've like read this story 3 times, but it freaks me out. Okay.
I don't like that one.
Moving on. A family was driving through the Navajo reservation when something jumped out of a ditch as they were driving around a sharp curve. They described the creature as black, hairy, and wearing a shirt and pants. A few days later, the family was awakened to loud drumming and chanting at their home in Flagstaff, Arizona. When they looked outside, they saw 3 dark figures. Interestingly, it seemed like the figures could not climb the fence into their property, and after a bit, they just left. So that's just that story. That's pretty tame, but still creepy for sure.
It's really creepy. Just any dark figures is just creepy.
I've seen 2 dark figures, but this seems like something different. Like, the figures I've seen have been moving, and there's something just, like, so ominous about, like, a figure just standing there. And because it's, like, you can't explain it away, like, it was, like, something in my peripheral vision. It's, like, you see it standing there.
Right.
And that seems really scary.
Yeah, God forbid.
Okay. So, a man in Arizona... no, you're not going to like this one either. I'm so sorry. A man in Arizona was smoking on his patio when he heard... "Amanda, open the door, please." He said the voice sounded like a girl in her 20s and was calm and teasing-like. It repeated about 4 times, so he decided to try and find where the voice was coming from. This is when he saw movement at the apartment building that was facing his, like across the street or something like that. He saw a dog standing on its hind legs, leaning against an apartment door, tapping. He shrugged it off at first, which I don't know how you shrug that off. I would be losing my shit. But then he heard the voice again, like the exact same voice. Every time he heard it, it was just like a recording of the very same voice, just repeating itself, like in the same inflection.
Kind of like, what do they call those spirits? Like a mimic?
Well, a mimic is when they're impersonating your voice, which I've been seeing on TikTok a lot, by the way. Like 3 different people I've seen have mimics in their home, and if it's real, man, no, don't like it. Okay, so yeah, he kept hearing the voice repeat itself over and over again. He then watched this dog creature thing knock on the door for around 30 seconds, and then it stopped and didn't move for another 20 seconds or so. Then all of a sudden, it turned around from the door and stared at him. They made eye contact. Then the creature went to all 4s and started walking towards the man's apartment complex.
Oh my God.
The whole time it was walking, it was just staring into the man's eyes.
Holy shit, dude. Holy shit.
As it reached the bottom of the stairs to the building, the man ran inside and locked his door because he was on the patio. He soon started to hear clawing at his door.
Oh my God.
Then the door handle started to jiggle, and so did the handle on the door to his porch.
No.
It went on for like 30 minutes, and then it just left.
Oh my God.
Those are all the stories. We're done. Yeah, they're probably the scariest stories I've like seen so far while doing this podcast.
Oh my God, I don't like them.
I know, I'm sorry.
I don't like them at all.
But it makes for a good episode.
Well, yeah, that's fine. Actually, this is probably the most awful, horrible episode ever.
It is called What's Your Favorite Scary Story? Okay, so yeah, those are the stories that I found out there. But I cannot do an episode on skinwalkers without covering Skinwalker Ranch. So here we go.
All right.
So Skinwalker Ranch is a property in Utah that is about 500 acres, and it is on land that is traditionally inhabited by the Ute tribe. The legend goes that during a time of hostility between the Utes and the Navajos, members of the Navajo tribe decided to unleash a curse upon their enemies, which is believed to have unleashed skinwalkers throughout their land, and they are said to still stalk the land today. In 1994, the Sherman family purchased the ranch with the intention of settling down and relaxing in their new country home. So they experienced like many spooky things here. Terry Sherman, the father of the family, this one's bad too. There's more stories. I lied. So the father of this family once heard a noise outside and was surprised to see a wolf in his yard, bigger than he had ever seen before. He shot it several times, but the bullets seemed to do no damage to the wolf. Eventually, the wolf took off, but it left no tracks in the dirt, just as if it had vanished or something, which is interesting because they are also said to leave like ginormous tracks,
Right.
but this one like didn't leave anything. The family also reported seeing various kinds of flashing lights and mysterious objects in the sky, strange circles in their fields, mysterious voices floating overhead, and countless cattle mutilations. Just like the worst part about this.
Yeah, I've heard of the cattle mutilation.
Yeah, it's so sad.
Yeah.
They sold the ranch after living there for just 2 years.
Damn. I don't know how long I would be.
Yeah, no. It's like not just like one spooky thing, like now also there's UFO type things happening, aliens, something going on like that. But while the Shermans were experiencing all the things at the ranch, a man by the name of Robert Bigelow founded the National Institute for Discovery Science to fund research on UFOs and the paranormal. So naturally, the ranch was Robert's cup of tea, so he purchased it and turned it into a research hub for the Institute. So the Institute has not provided any definitive evidence, but the researchers have claimed to have had similar experiences as the Shermans. They have seen mysterious creatures with otherworldly eyes. They have seen cattle mutilations as well, which one of them happened in broad daylight, and they had seen this cow alive and well less than an hour before it happened. The even crazier thing about this one is there was no blood around the cow at all.
That's what I was going to say.
Even though it had been completely disemboweled.
Yeah. Like, I've heard of stories like that.
That's like the unexplainable thing of the mutilations is they don't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And so some of the researchers for the Institute had vowed to never step foot on the property again.
I believe that. I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
I would just hear, I don't know.
This one's got her messed up, you guys. Well, you're really going to have to help me convince her to come back.
Yeah, because I'm actually fairly quiet. I thought that I would, but I'm just like...
You're just kind of like in a state of shock right now.
Yeah, shock and like everything you explained about records of the 100%. Like, I believe in, Bigfoot, okay, yeah, whatever. Nessie, sure, I guess, maybe. But skinwalkers, 100%. Yeah. 100%.
It got real.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Institute did disband in 2004, but they owned the property until 2016. It was then sold to the real estate mogul Brandon Fugel. He got together with the History Channel and they decided to create a reality show on the property titled The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. The show is about Fugel's attempt to bring scientific approaches to the mysteries surrounding the ranch.
Is that show still on?
It is. I gave it a chance. I tried to watch it.
Right.
I got a little bored. It's just a bunch of like middle-aged white men like talking about this stuff.
Okay.
I only watched like almost an episode. I like almost finished the episode, but I just kind of gave up.
They might have good episodes.
Yeah, there could be something in there. I think there's like 3 or 4 seasons. So they had to have like gotten something. Maybe like if we watch it together, I'll be more into it.
Yeah, probably. Because like I feel the same way. I love watching Ancient Aliens and all that stuff. But there's some episodes where it's like, okay, they're fucking stretching it. Or, like, you know, this one's not that great, but they have like some pretty good
okay
episodes.
I'll give it another chance. I was like, I have to do my homework. I have to see if there's anything I'm not finding online, but I like watched it after I did all this research, so it all checked out. Like everything seems to correlate, so that's good. But apparently this was essentially what Robert Bigelow's Institute was, but as a reality show. So what they experienced included equipment malfunctioning, unexplained illnesses, and the indescribable feeling of strangeness following them home. which is like an interesting way to put it. I haven't heard that before.
I know what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I
know
know you felt that for sure. Ever since the 1950s, there have been hundreds of reports of UFOs and unexplained phenomena at the Skinwalker Ranch, as well as in the surrounding areas. Neighbors of the ranch often see lights in the sky in the shape of a doorway or a portal. They also experience the cattle mutilations a little differently. They appear to have been, the cattle appears to have been struck by lightning with no sign of the lightning ever touching the ground.
Damn.
Some people have been in the desert trying to spot UFOs, and when they go to return to their car, the car had been moved without a trace of tire tracks in the sand.
What the heck? Whoa, that one's weird.
That's like similar to like your gravestone thing, but
Yeah.
like a lot more intense because it's a
you're
car.
talking about like 3,000 pounds.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the Skinwalker Ranch. Now going back to the Navajos. So witchcraft is just not tolerated in their culture. They work to avoid, prevent, and cure it in their daily behaviors. They have always said that when a person becomes a witch, they have forfeited their humanity and their right to exist, so they should be killed. So skinwalkers are hard to kill, and attempts are usually unsuccessful. Trying to kill one often results in the witch seeking revenge. Successful killing requires the assistance of a powerful shaman who knows spells and rituals that can turn the skinwalker's evil back upon itself. And you would need to shoot the creature in the neck or head with bullets that have been dipped in white ash. And that was the legend of the Skinwalker.
Damn. That's heavy. That's heavy. That's like... That's really... I have no words.
I know. That one got you more than I thought it would. I'm so sorry.
No, it's just when you started explaining it, I've dismissed my story as like more of like an alien thing. But for those of you who don't know, I lived in Arizona for a couple years, maybe 4 years, I think. And in my third year living there, I visited the Wutpaki National Monument, which is like a old pueblo from... I actually don't know when it was built, but it's... I believe the Hopi tribe, the Hopi people lived there. And this place, Wutpaki National Park, is north of Flagstaff. It's probably like another 20 minutes from there, from where Flagstaff is at north. And I visited... It's a national monument. I visited the pueblo. There's like little parts, like it was the pueblo was a community, but they have so the whole park, you can drive through it because it's like a big shoe horse road. Is that how you say it?
Horseshoe.
A horseshoe road. And I believe it stretches out 40 miles. And when you enter that road, the first thing you drive by is Sunset Crater volcano, which it's a dormant volcano now, but it last erupted in like 11, I think it was like 1100.
Oh dang.
Yeah, long.
Super dormant.
Yeah, super dormant. And so when that volcano erupted, the ash from it covered the pueblos. And that basically like killed a lot of the Hopi people that were living there. And the pueblo, which is like the main part, because they have like a little ball court is what they call it, and just other little sections throughout that whole horseshoe road. The pueblo, it's called Wutpaki, and Wutpaki means long cut house. And that pueblo had over 100 rooms. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, so like literally the community lived in there.
Wow.
And it's one of those like native stories that the Hopi believe that the people who died there, who lived and died there from the volcano thing, they're like spirits stayed there as spiritual guides now.
Oh, okay.
And another cool thing about the pueblo is that it has like a cave system, an underground cave system kind of thing. So there's this thing that it has there called blowholes, which basically it's like the air pressure of wind that blows through the caves. It comes out through like open,
like a geyser,
like a geyser, but for air. So there's a specific part where there's in that pueblo area where you stand behind this like rock wall, because this whole thing is made like built into the rock that's there too. And it's like brick, but they've used the rock there to build the pueblo too. And there's like a rock wall there that if there's a gust of wind, it literally hits you. Like that wind can go up to 30 miles per hour.
Dang.
Like, yeah, it's like tough wind. And I was standing there and I didn't know about the cave system and like the air geyser, I guess you can call it. And it literally would move me like out of,
oh my God,
like I would take a couple steps because it was pushing me. So that's just a little bit about the
setting the scene.
Right. So I got there. I entered the horseshoe road around like maybe an hour and maybe 2 hours before sunset. And I had no idea what I was walking into. I learned about all of this after the fact.
Okay.
And so I stopped by Sunset Crater Volcano. And if you know me, you know that I love collecting rocks, and I love collecting like all this stuff.
Oh yes, I know.
And yeah, my dumbass took some of the volcano ash. Some of the volcano rock. I took it and I have it right there on my thing. What's it called? My bookcase.
Your knick-knack shelf.
My knick-knack shelf where I have all my rocks and my gems. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I like think about it, like it comes up in my mind and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Now knowing how sacred the land is.
Yeah, that's probably wasn't the best.
It's not
action.
It's not the best decision ever. Don't do that. If you guys visit any, sacred places, like do not take anything, because
haunted.
Yeah, do not do that.
Anything with any type of juju like associated with it, just let it be.
Yeah, do not.
Better safe than sorry. Like
So my voice is like trembling because this is like really real to me. So after I left that, I kept on driving up the road, and it's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. You have to go visit. Like, you have to see it, because it's just this vastness of like flat like ground, but the color there of the rock, it's like,
is it the red rock?
It's red. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I cannot even like describe it. It's just beautiful. You have to look it up if you have the Google or Schmoogler right in front of you. Look it up. But the first thing after Sunset Crater is the pueblo. So naturally, I stop and get out. And I'm walking through the whole pueblo because I'm literally the only one there. And, you can walk into the pueblo. Now it's standing for people to go visit, and you can walk through all the...
People don't live there?
No one lives there.
Oh,
it's just It's just an empty.
Got it.
Because the pueblo, like the roof isn't there. Like it's all like
okay.
kind of pretty much, and it's a national monument too,
Right.
so it can't be messed with either.
Yeah.
So anything that's like damaged now, it's literally just all like wind erosion and like stuff like that. But you're free to walk through it. And the sun was setting, and I wanted to take a really cool picture of just the silhouette of the pueblo. And so I took the picture, and I didn't think anything of it. But because I wasn't thinking, I didn't realize that there is no light out there. No lights. Like no lights whatsoever. And so I started like, I basically just relied on my phone flashlight and getting back on the road, just my headlights, which at the time I was driving like an old like 2012 Chevy Cruze, which had like the old yellowed headlights, so it wasn't even that great. So I had my high beams on. I mean, that helped, I guess. And I was having a good time. I mean, I didn't know what I was walking into. I didn't know what any of this was. I just thought it was like, oh, this is cool. I'm here alone. It's a weekend, which I feel like people would want to go visit. But it was empty. No one.
I feel like people probably, maybe they don't know about it, or it's not as, like, interesting to them, and so,
I guess.
I don't know. Is it, like, does it take a while, or is it,
takes
like...
a very long time to get through. To drive through, for sure.
No, just to get to. Like, is it, like, 20 minutes from civilization, or is it, like, an hour from civilization?
It's 20 minutes from, like, 30 minutes from Flagstaff.
Yeah, I feel like if I lived in Flagstaff, I would go there on the weekend.
That's 30 minutes from Sunset Crater. Like I said, it takes a long time to get around. It's 40 miles that you're driving. So it takes a long time to go around the whole horseshoe road. And, so this pueblo is at the very, like, the furthest tip of this horseshoe road. So the sun was finally down, and I still wanted to stop by the other little spots they have there that aren't as big as the pueblo.
Yeah.
I got to the ball court. I don't know what the ball court is because I still don't know what it is. It was just called the ball court. And I got out of my car because I figured it's fine. I'll just leave, I'll leave my phone light on and I'll go. But as soon as I got out of the car, it felt like something was there.
Ugh.
Like it felt like someone was there.
Oh my God.
And I started walking towards the thing. It's not even a building. It just looks like it's
like a structure?
Like a structure of something. And I just got like the weirdest, just a feeling, just like you were just listening to your like gut feeling, and it didn't feel safe. And so I just went back into my car, and my dumbass, I'm telling you, I was not thinking back then. Like, I'm so naive and dumb.
You were younger.
Yeah.
We don't always make the best decisions when we're younger.
I'm driving down this road, straight road, but I decided to turn off my headlights to see how dark it is.
While you're driving?
While I'm driving.
Folks, if you're going to do that, please park. Put the emergency brake on.
And so I turn off the lights, and I cannot see obviously anything. It's freaking dark out. There's no lights. There's nothing out there. I don't know what I was like expecting. And I turned the lights back on, and I just blast the music because I'm just scared. And because I felt like something was with me, right?
Oh, God.
And so, and I just stepped on it, and I was going 80, 90, 100 miles an hour just down this straight road. 100 miles an hour.
Babe, oh my God.
I was scared. And I still had a long way to go. And to make it even worse, there's no service out there.
Of course.
No service.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how much longer I had to get to the highway. I was like, I you know me, I started freaking myself out. I started thinking, too much. And I'm driving and I'm like, whatever, I'll just listen to my music. Hopefully I'll get out of here soon. And then I look out the passenger window and
I see. No, you don't.
And I see this blue light following me.
Oh my God.
Going 100 miles an hour with my car.
Oh
and
my
just
God.
like running with me. And it was like so weird because like it looked like you can see like a figure kind of running,
like galloping,
kinda.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, first of all, I was like, what is that? Like, and I was driving. I did not slow down, nothing, still 100 miles an hour. And I looked out because I knew the road was straight. So I was like, I'll just keep the wheel straight. And this thing is just following me. And eventually it just kind of slows down. And I'm just driving, and I'm driving quicker. And I'm driving faster, 110, 120. I'm like pressing my car, like pedal to the literal floor. And I finally see like the strip of the highway. And I'm like, okay, like I'm out of there, like quiet. Like I couldn't even like listen to music on. And I was living in Phoenix, so I still had to drive from Flagstaff to Phoenix, which is another 2 hours.
How did you do that?
I don't even know. Like, I feel like I blocked out a lot of it because I don't even remember, like, getting home. Like, I just remember that, like, chunk there. And it was just, like, terrifying. So, the next morning, I started looking through my pictures that I took.
Oh, no.
While you were talking about it, I pulled up the pictures of, I can send you these, or you can screenshot them so you can, like, if you want to add them to your, what,
sure.
you know.
But wait, I want to see them now.
Well, this is from, like, Wootpaki. And that's, in the Pueblo. You can, like, that's basically what it looks like.
Okay. Like, and that is so cool.
It's really beautiful.
Wow.
Before the sun sets.
Right, yeah.
So, in one of my pictures that I took of the silhouette of the Pueblo, you know me and my live pictures, I always take live photos.
Of course.
Again, a live photo takes a 3-second video before it takes the picture.
Right.
And so that's what my Pueblo picture was, of the silhouette of the Pueblo. And in those 3 seconds, there is a silhouette of a being. I don't know what it is. It almost like has a shape of like an alien kind of thing, which is why I always associated that place with aliens.
Right.
And within those 3 seconds, it just props its head out. Like there's like a horizon, right? And it props its head up on the horizon.
Oh my God.
And it goes back down within those 3 seconds.
What the heck?
Right next to the Pueblo. Like, and it's this story, like the skinwalkers. It's you said that it when you said that, like, it watches people from a distance.
Right.
Like usually on
peering
a higher,
from like the cliff or a mountain.
Yeah. And like, oh my God, no, like this is what, it's why this thing was like really scary to me, because like there's like, so many,
God, like
Arizona in general, it has the most like weirdest
like energy.
Yeah. Like,
I believe it. We went there one time. We went to the Superstition Mountains, which maybe you'll have to be an episode one day.
Yeah.
But I felt something there for sure. You feel
like there's lots of places in Sedona too. Sedona has Flagstaff has some Superstition, like Tortilla Flats, like even South Mountain in Phoenix. That's where Phoenix Lights happened. Like, Arizona, that's why I have so many stories, because of my time in Arizona.
Yeah.
And like that's where I've experienced the most. I don't know if it was because I was alone. Like, I felt alone. Like, I was just vulnerable and just really fucking depressed over there. And I don't know if I was just, like, vulnerable and, like, an easy target for this kind of energy.
Right.
But, like, it was just really bad. And to this day, I regret taking the volcano dust rock, basically. So as we make our we make our trip back to Tennessee, we're gonna stop by and I'm gonna ask for forgiveness.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe we should bring it with us.
I'm gonna do that because, like, I think about it and I'm like, damn, like, I know it's like a stretch, but like shit, it's probably like I cursed myself, or like I have those like
I would
thoughts,
say not even necessarily cursed, but you do just have like some nights and stuff that your energy is just not quite right, you know, and I feel like that's what makes it so you can't sleep and you just have bad feelings sometimes, and it definitely could be from that.
Yeah, and I have a couple rocks that I'd like to return to,
and that stuff's all next to your other things, which are supposed to be providing us like the good energy, and that's probably not great either.
Yeah,
you know?
So like I have a couple rocks there, the volcano rock, and actually also a dried out cactus that I took, and I don't know like what kind of land that is either, but I had that hanging on my wall and it got knocked off the wall.
Oh my god! And here?
No, not here. Oh, okay. In my apartment back in Arizona, and so same, like, I know what things I want to return when we make our road trip out. Like, I've set that intention, and I've never told anyone this. Like, I've never told anyone that. Like, this story of my time at Woodpaki and, like, my rocks and stuff. Like,
yep, now you're telling the world.
Yeah, that's okay.
Are all 24 people listening
to this. That's fine. I just don't do that. Don't take things.
Yes, please learn from her mistakes.
Yeah, because I've set my intentions now. I'm going to go return them. And hopefully it'll, they'll take my sorries.
Yeah.
And just please leave me alone.
Please leave her alone.
Let me sleep peacefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to share my story because...
Well, thanks. I am so sorry I traumatized you even further. I didn't know it would have such an effect on you.
No, maybe, you know what? Maybe it is a little therapeutic because...
Yeah, maybe.
It's just really scary. Like, anything supernatural, anything, that isn't, like, of this world, really, like...
Right.
It's, like, scary. It's scary to me, at least. I feel like it's laughable for a lot of people, or a lot of people just...
Right. And or just, like...
don't believe in it, dismiss it.
You can disassociate from it. It's still interesting and you just want to learn about it, but it's like, if it's happening to you, like, that's a whole different bag, man.
Yeah, it is a whole different bag.
I don't know how I'd react. Like, I haven't had, like, experienced anything, like, that terrifying,
Yeah, I just feel like you're also careful with, like...
That's true.
How you go about with things, and I haven't done like the smartest.
Yeah.
I haven't made the smartest decisions.
Yeah, you're an overthinker after you do things. I'm an overthinker before I do things.
Yeah, I wish I was kind of like more like you. You
wow.
know? It's because I'm more of like a risk taker. Like, I've always been the fuck it, let's do it. I've always been like the, like YOLO kind of like mindset. Like, let's just do it. Like, wow, what's it gonna hurt? Like, what's it gonna do? Like, I'd rather like live to tell the story than being like I feel like I would just be like a hermit, just like.
Well, maybe we can, between the two of us, we can find a happy medium.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Yeah. But. Well, thanks for being here again. I'm sorry this episode wasn't as fun and funny as the other ones, I think it was a good one.
I think it was a good one too.
It was informative.
Actually, as a matter of fact, I think it was the most awfulest one ever, dude. Like
in a good way?
Yeah, I guess so.
Better mean in a good way.
It's just a scary one, dude.
That's the point.
I know.
But anyways, I hope you guys like this one. I learned a lot, and so I hope everyone else did too. But yeah, don't know what we're doing for the next couple of weeks, but if you guys want to hear your favorite scary story, you know where to send them. What's your favorite scary story at gmail.com. Please send those in. I need all the stories forever and ever. All the stories you've got.
Any of them, guys. Yeah. Really, like it's just like there's no like
limit. Like as you like have seen, I'm like covering all different kinds of topics here. So please just send it in. Send in your if you just have any personal stories that aren't like attributed to like any well-known topic, send those in too. One of these days I want to do an episode that's just listener stories. Yeah. So yeah, send in everything you got, you guys.
If you've ever lived in a haunted house, or if you know anyone who's ever lived in a haunted house, or has had a spooky experience that's not yours personally, but you still want to share.
Yep, that'll work too.
Because I have one like that with my mom. My mom's experienced something really spooky.
Oh, no, Mom.
Yeah, but
she's as bad as you when it comes to scary stuff. She's worse.
She's way worse, yeah.
We told her that we were going to the Haunted Museum in Las Vegas, and she goes, why? You like that stuff?
Or when we go watch scary movies, she's like, you mean you're paying to go get scared? Like, you want to get scared, so you're paying money to... Yeah, I'm like, yeah, of course, Mom. Like, that's part of the thrill. That's the adrenaline rush. We like, you know, part of the dopamine,
or whatever that is in our brain for some reason. But yeah, that's all we have for this week. I am sorry for traumatizing you even further.
It's okay.
But it made for some good stories. But yeah, that is all. Stay spooky.